Hey, what's up? This is Aewon Wolf. Thank you for clicking on this video. And today's video, I'm going to talk about how to become the best version of yourself.
H-A-P-P-Y is how I live my life. Won't waste my time, cause I'm H-A-P-P-Y.
To start off with the beginning, there is no perfect life. There is no perfect version. There is no final version of yourself. This is a journey, but I can give you some steps and some tricks or hacks that you can use to basically find a really good version and to start that journey and be on the best path towards that best version of yourself. All my content is basically designed to helping you become the best version of yourself anyway. So if you like this type of content that can help you on your journey and help you on your journey of happiness and being productive, subscribe to the channel and stay in tune to my videos or check out my other videos, because all the content that I create now helps you in that, and that's my direction and my purpose in life, and also helps me be happy and achieve the best version of myself. So stay tuned and you will learn those steps. How to become the best version of yourself. Number 1, change your mindset. I know we've all heard it's better to see the glass half full than empty, and we're told to be optimistic versus pessimistic. But why is it that some people find it easier to do these things than others? Obviously, life and experiences have a part to play in this, but it is possible to be able to shift your mindset if you want to. According to Dr. Andrew Huberman, a neuroscientist and a Stanford University School of Medicine professor, in his podcast, The Huberman Lab, I'll put a link to this article, or you can search for his podcast yourself. He explains that the brain and the mind are interchangeable. To change the mind, we must first understand how the brain works. First of all, behaviors can change the brain. Our nervous system controls everything we do: sensations, perceptions, thoughts, feelings, and actions. Some are negotiable, but some are not. For example, sensations are not negotiable. We automatically sense the things that happen around us. However, perceptions are negotiable. You can shift someone's attention by placing a spotlight on the topic. As for thoughts, Dr. Huberman teaches us that it is simply useless to try change them. He explains to change what you think, you should start by changing your experiences through actions that you need to perform. Performing activities that are different creates an experience that changes the way that people feel and think. While we know that the brain controls behaviors, neuroscience shows that actions can change the brain. For example, when I quit drinking alcohol, which I discussed fully in another video, I made it easier for myself by taking the action of changing my environment and the people that I had around me. I took the action that helped shift my brain's experiences to match up with the decision that I made to stop drinking. If my actions remained the same, then as much as I might have a lot of willpower, I probably would have been miserable and not enjoy my choice, which would result in going back to my older mindset eventually. The same applied when I quit social media, when I quit meat and dairy, and I decided to focus on being healthy, vegan, minimalistic, loving, kind, and happy. I had to take actions to help my decision to shift my mind. I took the actions of teaching myself every day about the benefits of my decisions and reminding myself why I made those decisions. I changed my routines and patterns to help support them. I limited putting myself in environments and situations that made it difficult to follow through on my decision, like not clubbing just for the sake of clubbing and making my home environment a safe and happy space, deleting apps off my phone that distracted me and downloading ones that would help me. I took on practices that helped my path, like meditation, intermittent fasting, hiking, carpentry, cooking, baking, sewing, and choosing to learn every day. These actions all made it easier for me to stay with and live by my decision to be happy and healthy. So look at your life and decide what actions you need to take in your life to help you shift your mindset. Because maybe the reason you aren't able to stick with any decision that you know that will help you be a happy and healthy version of yourself is because you just haven't taken the actions necessary for that mindset to set in and work with your brain and not against it. This is also why it's easier for kids to learn new things than for adults, because unfortunately, society has warped most of our priorities, and society's warped priorities has warped most of our brains and has now hardwired our brains into enjoying and liking bad things. And so it might be harder for you to break out of that hardwiring the older you are, because your neuroplasticity is very low. But the science shows you can increase it by taking actions like the ones I shared to align your brain with your new mind shift. So start today and stop making or looking for excuses not to be your best self. So now that you know how and why to shift your mindset, what do you shift your mindset to? Point number 2, visualize the best version of yourself. We are all different, and so we all should have different best versions of ourselves. This is where it's important in truly knowing yourself away from the noise of the world and your environment. This is where the actions of meditation, prayer, and hours of self-reflection might help you. During prayer and meditation, ask God who is in you, to reveal who you truly are. Take the time to listen for the answer and let God speak to you. God speaks in love, so look for that voice that speaks from a position of love and listen to what it says your best self looks like and what you need to remove to gain that person. If that sounds too airy to you, then journal. Write about your day every day, listing what and who made you truly happy and what and who drained you. Also list the reasons why you think they drained you or made you happy. Asking yourself these questions will help you picture the best version of yourself. Now ask yourself, what does the best version of yourself look like in 3 years if you had to take the steps every day into creating them? Make a list of those things you see that the 3-year-old version of yourself has achieved. The list can be specific or vague, but it has to be things that you know you can achieve if you put the work in. It shouldn't be stuff that's up to other people to decide. So don't put things like being the CEO of the company you work for or married to Kim Kardashian or Idris Elba, because you have no control over that. Just focus on the things you can control. Like, for example, in 3 years' time, I would like to be debt-free or fluent in Mandarin or know how to play the piano or be healthy in mind and body. These are goals that are achievable with the right amount of time and dedication. These achievements might, by way of byproduct, get you that job as CEO or married to Idris Elba or Kim Kardashian, but those are just byproducts. What's important is that you achieve those things that are intrinsic to you, as in you have control over them. It's also important in this process to educate yourself what is actually healthy and good for you. And lastly, accept that the best version of yourself might be less in the world's eyes, but more in your own. You might be happier with less responsibility in terms of work and more dedicated to hobbies that might not earn you a lot of money, but make you genuinely happy, and that's perfect. Remember what I said earlier, to not let society influence you, but rather listen to yourself. Don't worry about money. That will be also a byproduct of being your best self. Focus on being happy and proud of yourself. Once you've got a clear picture of how this 3-year-older version of yourself is, then the last step kicks in. Step 3, make it urgent and just do it. Using the first point of taking action to shift your mindset and with a clear vision of where you want to shift your mindset to, it's important to prioritize it. Often in life we make excuses, and that's common for anything inconvenient, as pointed out earlier, that this will be inconvenient and uncomfortable in the beginning, and it will be harder the older you are, but you can still make the shift if you prioritize it and make time for it. A researcher on time management once tried to book time with a very busy and successful businesswoman, and she kept putting her off. The businesswoman kept saying she's too busy at the moment. Then one day the researcher found out that the same businesswoman had a major water leak on a property and had to spend the past few days sorting it out, which obviously made her even busier. And then the researcher realized something, that the problem with her booking time with this lady wasn't that she didn't have enough time. It was simply that it was not a priority for her. Because if she really had no time, then how did she find time to sort out the water leak? It's simple. The water leak was just more of a priority than everything else she had going on. The urgency of the water leak could cost her a lot in the long run if she had just put it off. So she could not put it off and put off other things to fix it. She prioritized it to prevent further future pain. This is the case for many things in our lives. We love to say we don't have time to do certain things, but in reality, it's just that we don't, or even society doesn't prioritize those things. So we don't really feel the pressure of doing them. So this is where I ask you, where would you like to prioritize your happiness and self-worth? I would like to think it's high, but because you are only accountable to yourself, and they are not evident to the outside world or easy to cover up and pretend, you're probably willing to sacrifice those things to fit in with society's priorities. Think about how much time do you spend on social media or on taking the perfect picture for social media? How much time do you spend on idle gossip and chatting? How much time do you spend on frivolous and mindless entertainment? How much time and money do you spend on substances and activities that bring harm to your body and steal even more of your time during recovery? I don't say you shouldn't have downtime, but the things I just mentioned are not really downtime. They all still require some effort, energy, and time. And plus, there are way more effective ways of using that downtime in a productive manner that also require minimal effort and energy. Just naming one off the top of my head being sleep. But no, we engage in the bad stuff that we know very well isn't good for ourselves, but because we don't prioritize our actual health and happiness and choose to rather focus and prioritize society's goals for us. So I say find the urgency and truly prioritize your health and happiness, because it's undoubtedly will cost you a lot more in the long run if you don't. Thank you for watching this video. Really appreciate it. I hope the steps that I've given and those hacks that I've given you actually help you and help you on your path and begin your path to take your first steps towards being the best version of yourself. And I hope it really is effective in giving you happiness, because that's what these videos are all about, is basically helping you be happy and just be fulfilled and be a most well-rounded version of yourself. If that does it for you, hit me in the comment section and let me know how that worked out for you. There's a lot more to this. There's a lot other stuff that you can check out, and go ahead and start your journey and figure out and watch as many videos as you can that can help you with that. This is not just the only way. There are many ways. This is just one way that worked for me, and you can share with me also in the comment section those ways that work for you. Also, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you can stay tuned and know about my videos. Stay blessed. I'm Aewon signing out. Peace out. A-Town.